What's going on, everyone? Juicebags here, and welcome back to some Dungeon Defenders Awakened and my Rift mode playthrough. Now, let me tell you, y'all, Rift Ogres are no joke. You see, I'm almost level 13 now. It's because I failed Ancient Mines on the Rift Ogre. I went in just expecting a normal run, and he went down and one-shot my wall with, like, no problem at all. Literally, one swing, my wall was gone. And then me and all my defenses went shortly after. So no love there, that is for sure. But we are ready for the Ancient Mines. So let's hop on in. We're on hardcore, and rifted. Let's get it. And here we go. Now, remember, all of your power when you're starting off early is going to come from your points. So spend your rune points appropriately. As you see here on my Huntress, I went power and range, and then half of that into fortify, just to give my traps a little extra juice. On the monk, we are basically the same thing. Power range, half of it into fortify, just to give a little bit more duration on the auras. For the apprentice, it's all power and range, so I 50-50 split it here. And then on the EV, it's all about the walls right now. Now, as soon as I unlock that buff beam, yeah, then it's going to be a whole different situation, and I'm going to want to put some into power as well. The good thing about DDA is there's no sort of gold cost or anything to respec, so you can change this every map if you want to. So good stuff there for sure. Now, to get things started off here, we're just going to start off with 2 explosive traps right at each lane. We're going to kind of spawn camp them a bit. This particular map has some really nice flame burst spots. You're able to get some shots in up front on the mobs as they're coming out in positions where the flame burst towers are not really going to take any damage. So good stuff there. We got enough for just one trap over here. Let's just slap it right there. And then, you know, wave 1. We're going to do our thing. Not very many mobs. Let's just shoot them all. So this is our weak lane over here with just the one trap. So let's make sure this lane stays alive without any issue. Now, a couple important things to note with inventory management. This is a loot-based game. It's all about the loot, right? Well, that means you're going to be spending a lot of time looking at your inventory. So I did go through and set up some of the filters on the top, which I'll go through here in a minute after the wave. Another important thing to note is the loot filter is currently bugged. It is not looting properly. So you're going to want to be cautious of any loot on the ground. Make sure you're looting everything. So pick all the stuff up yourself. Don't take any chances on the loot filter, but I will show you how the loot filter should be set for a brand new player at this point in the game. So first off, looking at those bags, as we see, I've already got 3 bags of just junk. You know, I want to loot everything, so I went on and separated the sets. So I've got ancient sets here, guard sets, militia, minor, and primitive. Now on the 6th tab, I put all the weapons. I don't have enough accessories yet to worry about it, so I haven't bothered with the accessories. Now remember, you do get a set bonus as well. As you see, it's 40% increase on the stats on the armor. Now right now, obviously, I don't have very many stats on it, so the 40% is not really giving me all that much, but it is free stats, so you're getting a little something extra out of what is on your armor pieces. Now, I don't have every character fully equipped quite yet, and I should really do that. Let's see, do we have, there's a power and rate headpiece. Let's use that. Do we have a chest and boots? We do. Alright, so let's see. I want all builder stuff, ideally. No builder stuff on any of this. So let's just use whatever. See, that one's got a fortify. Let's go with those boots, and that will give me a little bit of a set bonus there. And then, do we have a headpiece for my EV? Let's see. We do indeed. Fortify and 2 power. That is perfect. So, I've got a set now on, what, the EV, on the Huntress. That's weird. Since it's rifted and non-rifted, that's not counting as a set. It doesn't appear. And then we've got a guard set on the monk. Now, I mentioned the loot filter. The loot filter is bugged right now. It is not looting properly. Chromatic is on a holiday break, and of course the update dropped right before the holiday started. So assuming they'll get this dialed in, but this is what your loot filter should look like at this point. Basically, you want everything checked except max upgrades and level range. Leave those unchecked. As I go through the playthrough, once everybody's in full sets of common gear, I'll uncheck that. Once they're in full sets of greens, I'll uncheck that, and so on as we go through the playthrough. But this is what your loot filter should look like, but be cautious, it's not quite working quite right. Let's get some more traps down. Let's expand on our goodies. Debating on throwing some proton beams in the mix too. Defenses that do physical damage prior to getting to massacre mode with the siren are quite powerful. The reason being is they'll hit all enemies, so no enemy has physical damage immunity this early in game. So using defenses that have physical damage is just good stuff. Let's see. Let's go ahead and repair all that stuff. We got 277 left. What do we want to do? I'm curious if a proton beam is actually going to survive very long. Let's find out. Let's go with, we'll put a long one all the way down that lane. Let's see. We've got 237 left. We've got room for protons over here, too. I do want to get some walls in as well, though. So let's see. Let's go with a proton beam here. All the way down the lane. And then we'll get one right here as well. All the way down the lane. Now, I do want to put walls in. Now, the walls are the reason I went full fort. So I want, let's see, we'll go with a 3DU wall right here. A reflect beam is just never ever a bad idea, and they're cheap. You can get pretty good coverage out of one DU reflect beam, so I'm going to use a reflect beam there as well. Let's see, I'd love to get another 3DU wall here. I think I'm going to have to go up. Yeah, I'll have to go up on the ledge a little bit. Let's get that reflect beam in. Now, the challenge on this map, and what got me on this map last run, is I was just expecting to play Wall Repair Simulator through the Ogre. The Ogre came down and just smacked that wall down like it was nothing, so could not do that. I'm debating on actually doing a 4DU wall here, just because of that Ogre. Gonna be tough. Let me go ahead and jump off the ledge here real quick. Now that we got that out of the way. Let's try this again. It's going to be a little bit of a challenge to get that much DU in. See, we can go it like this. That's 4 DU. And that gives us a pretty nice bit of wall health. Can I get a reflect beam in now too? Yeah, we'll go ahead and get that 1 DU reflect beam there. Actually, you know what? Do we want to put it up as well? Let's do it. Let's just put the reflect beam up there. This particular lane will be the Ogre lane, and it's crucial to get that reflect beam in, as the first toss, the first throw of a snot ball out of a rifted Ogre is going to be a rifted Kobold. Now, a Kobold is going to one-shot you, and it's going to one-shot any of your defenses. So you really, really want to make sure you are dialed in there. Proton beams, as you see, are just beast. And it is physical damage, so it is putting out, damage that is not going to be avoided by anything else. And it actually looks like it's not going to be a huge deal keeping them repaired either. We'll take a look at it as the waves get a little bit healthier, though, and see. It seems like the Protons may be a very strong go-to defense early on here, that's for sure. Now, I've still got what? I got 34 left. I do want to get some flame bursts in. Now, as I mentioned, I think I mentioned earlier, this map has some really good spawn campy flame burst opportunities in really safe places. So, good stuff there. You're able to really get your spawn camp going on a lot of these. The traps pack a big punch, but boy, they are high maintenance. You got to constantly repair them. We got 3 mobs left, so we're just about there. We got a ton of DU. getting in the habit of just auto-snagging everything on the ground, particularly if you're restarting and have already played a bit, will be a bit of a challenge to get used to. But until they get that loot filter fixed, that is just what we're going to have to do. Alright, so we got plenty of Flame Burst DU in now. I've got, what, 34 DU left. Let's get a Flame Burst right up here. Now, this spot is a little tiny bit sketchy, but there won't be more than like maybe one archer throwing at it. So it packs a nice little punch up front. You get that Flame Burst damage in. Now, additionally, we can come over here and do the same thing. Let's do it right here. We'll come out to the edge. Now, remember, too, with your apprentice towers, upgrades go a really, really long way. So you get a lot of range out of upgrades. So upgrading Flame Burst towers is a big, big win, no doubt. And then we've got another kind of little cheeky spot right up top here where some ranged mobs will throw at it, but for the most part, a Flame Burst tower up here will be relatively safe. And let's see, we're down to 14 DU left. I kind of want to go ahead and work on that ogre lane a little bit more, as I know that this lane is going to get hit by the ogres. And, you know, what do I do? Well, let's throw another Flame Burst here. Let's put it back so it's just covering the wall and nothing else. And I do kind of want to get it behind that reflect beam as well. So I'll get an upgrade on it, hopefully by wave 5 here, but that should help out quite a bit. And what's left? We got 96 left. Well, those proton beams are doing so good. Let's go ahead and go with more of them. Let's see, let's put a 5 DU proton beam down. And then we'll go with a 4 DU proton beam as well. Now this should be some really nice big boy damage on that ogre. See, the 4 DU one, let's go ahead and just cross the lane a little bit with it. And there we go, we've got all of our mana spent now. Let's let it fly and see how we end up. It's all about that 5th wave. Getting through the waves here on this one is not really a huge deal. You see the upfront damage from that Flame Burst is just super nice. Puts a lot of punch in up front. I could have thrown another one over here for this lane, but I didn't. This is kind of the easiest lane. So other than just running through and keeping those traps repaired, this lane is not something I'm overly concerned with. Man, I did not want to get up in that kobold's face. That is for sure. That's instant death. More importantly, I would be losing my 400 mana. So, you know, hardcore mode, not only does your map have to survive through the wave if you die, but you're going to lose the mana that you're holding. So, yeah, rough stuff there. Alright, now let's see, what can we do? Let's go ahead and let's get all of these repaired. These protons are just staying super durable. Just crazy good. Let's see, we got one more big repair over here, and then we got a lot to spend. You know what, do I just want to... Let me just upgrade the front trap. Let me upgrade this to reach over a little bit further. Let's upgrade this one so it can reach down. That front trap, and then now all of the mana remaining, I think I really want to put into this lane. Let's throw one upgrade on a wall, one upgrade on that Flame Burst, one on the front trap, and one on this Flame Burst. Good stuff there. And here we go. So, Wave 4, once again, shouldn't be too terrible. We can get through Wave 4 without any problems. It's just that Rift Ogre. And you want to definitely make sure that you're attracting the Rift Ogre for that first Snotball toss while you're behind this Reflect Beam. That's just going to save the day for you. Got another Rifted Kobold. Let's stay out of his face. We do have that rifted weapon, but remember, even though it's double damage, it's still just really, really low damage output. So any weapon without upgrades is going to be kind of a meh weapon. But we're doing double of absolute crap, so it's we at least get 2 times the poo instead of just single tier poo. These traps, man, I tell you, these traps are so strong, but they're such high maintenance. We're getting it, though. We are getting it. 28 mobs left. We just have that little reprieve in the middle. I'm going to dump, I think, all of the mana directly into this lane. The wall here is not going to survive long if the ogre gets to it, so I basically just need to be ready to kite him. So I can kite the ogre back and forth through the traps and beams, and it's all GG's. But if he gets past all that point, it's going to be unhappy times, no doubt. Wow, quite the break in between. It's because of the spawn camp, I think. I believe this map might be, the lane schedules might be set, assuming people are going to build further down the lane. So it does take a long, long time in between the mobs. And here we go. It is the moment of truth. So let's get all of this repaired. We got 1,200 mana to spend. Snag up the loot. And let's dump it all into this lane. Let's see, let's get one more upgrade on that wall. That gives me 11,000 wall health. That is fatty, fatty stuff. And then let's hit these protons. See if we can't get a little bit more damage out of them. Now, I don't have any points into power on the protons at all. But they are just, it's physical damage, so nothing is going to be immune to it. And that is just good stuff. Now, I'm going to just hang here the whole time and prepare for the ogre. I probably will lose, at a minimum, some traps on the other side, but I don't think it's going to be the end of the world. So I'm just going to plan on sitting here, getting that ogre tagged as soon as it comes out. That way I can distract it for that Rift Kobold. And then popping my adrenaline rush and jumping back and forth over his head and hoping I don't die. That is the plan at this point. Got that little reprieve. Let's keep spraying in. We actually got enough for another upgrade, huh? Let's hit another proton beam. Get a little bit more damage up there. You see, they're putting out a decent amount of damage. It looks like that upgraded one is doing 117 per tick, which, I mean, isn't huge, but they do tick pretty quick, too. So it is a decent amount of damage. Even with low stats, you see it's attacking almost 4 times a second. So that's pretty darn decent damage, no doubt. You know, the traps are going out over here. I think I'm good, though. I really, really want to stay over here for that ogre. Oh, man, and he's already out. Did I get the kobold? Oh, I lucked out and got the Rift Kobold anyway. So it is adrenaline rush time. Let's get this ogre distracted and run him around a little bit. Stay away from the snot balls. Oh, man, you see that snot ball? Almost one-shot me. Let's get him distracted away from these walls. Okay, my wall is actually down. Gonna have to make sure I get him back and forth in these. Take advantage of that reflect beam, of course, but just keep him walking back and forth through the traps and protons. You see, he's got a lot of health, so you're gonna die if you get whacked, so don't get whacked. Make sure to go back and forth over his head. Looks like we lost him. Let's bring him back up, and I think one more trip through the beams should get the job done. And there we go, we got the victory. Let's check out the fat loots here, and just be careful, y'all. If you come in and you're a little overconfident, as I was, you are going to lose to that Rifted Ogre. There's no doubt. Physical damage, super strong right now. No doubt about that either, as, once again, this early in game, nothing can resist the physical damage. So we should get ourselves some more rift pieces here. And we got us another minigun. This one, that one's not really wonderful. Seems like the one I've got equipped is slightly more damage. I'm not sure if we will actually get any rift armor sets put together, but that is a look at Ancient Mines on hardcore and rifted in Dungeon Defenders Awakened as a brand new player. So thanks again, y'all, and I will see ya next time around. Take it easy.